Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And today I am here with my review slash thoughts on the latest episode of Batwoman. Oh, I'm sorry, Batwoman. I'm sorry. I keep mispronouncing her name. Yes. After look, if you guys saw my review of the last episode, then you'll know that after what they did, I have said officially that I am done with Batwoman. I am done with the CW. However, like I said, I am officially committed to reviewing every episode of the first season, and I will do that. This episode, of course, included, and I will review the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, all the way until the very last episode. However, I have officially decided that I am not going to review season 2. I'm not going to watch it because I don't care. I am not going to give the CW any more of my time. So, yeah. So let's just get through this episode. And you know what? You know what I decided when I watched this episode? I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get mad when I do this review. Because you know what? I have pretty much stopped expecting anything good from this show. I've stopped expecting anything good because it doesn't do anything good. I'm convinced now that whatever elements the show had that could be considered good had to have been a fluke. It had to have been a fluke because there's no way they could have done it on purpose. Because this episode is pretty much back to form for this show, meaning it is 100% garbage. It is 100% garbage. Nothing in this episode was good. So I decided, you know what? On this review, I'm not. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna recount the episode. I'm gonna give you my thoughts, and we're all just gonna have a laugh. Okay? Let's just sit back and laugh at how fucking terrible this episode was, and how fucking terrible I'm pretty sure the rest of the episodes are gonna be. And you know what? Looking at a show like this and how poorly made it is, I have no doubt that the CW is not only bleeding viewers, but they're also bleeding money. And you know what? I do not feel sorry for them in the least because they purposely went out there and made a show that is just about pushing an agenda. They made a piece of propaganda on purpose. So you know what? If you are just going to keep doing this, then you can continue to lose money for all I care. You can continue to lose money, and unfortunately that means that when a company starts losing money, when a company doesn't make money, they have to start letting people go. So people are going to start losing their jobs. People are going to have to be fired because the company can't afford to keep them around anymore. So you know what? And normally I would be upset that people are losing their jobs, but in all honesty, I think that the people working at the CW getting fired might be one of the best things to happen to them on a normal day. But considering the situation that's going happening right now, uh, you know what? I wouldn't want them to be fired now because right now I feel like anyone who still has their job is lucky because unfortunately there are a lot of people who had to be let go because a lot of companies had to shut down, and because they shut down they can't make money, and because they can't make money, like I said, they can't afford to keep people around, so people had to be let go, and unfortunately a lot of people had to lose their employment, which is of course terrible. So you know what, when all of this is done, when hopefully when this situation is finally over and done with, I am hoping that the people who were let go from the CW will be able to find employment somewhere else. They will be able to work in a studio that hopefully produces good quality content, where they'll be able to go to a studio where their talents can actually be shown, where their talents can actually be cultivated, and they can give us some good quality entertainment. But until then, let's laugh at this absolute piece of fucking shit. So let's start off at the beginning of the episode, and yep, right from the beginning, we get nothing but garbage. So we're at the docks. We're at the docks, and basically, do you guys remember that scene from Batman Begins? Yeah, where Batman basically attacks those thugs in the docks with all the shipping containers. Yeah, they basically ripped off they basically ripped off that scene. Basically, there's a criminal who's dealing in human trafficking, and literally the first time we see Batwoman, she just does this impossible jump from the shipping container all the way over to a car, and somehow which is, I'm pretty sure it was in the rain, and somehow she doesn't slip and crack her neck, but no, she just jumps 1 foot on the car and then jumps all the way over, all the way, like she jumped, I'm pretty sure she jumped about 10 meters, and she somehow just disappears into the fog. And for some reason, nobody goes after her. Nobody starts firing in that direction. No, they all just stand there looking like morons. And somehow, some way, this little 5 foot nothing twig fires her grappling gun, grabs one of the. this, I'm sorry. Okay, as I'm remembering it now, it's just. Oh my god, this was so bad. She fires the grappling gun, grabs one of the thugs, and somehow, like she's Superman, like she has super strength, manages to pull him all the way back. And it's just, again, if you saw it, you know how bad that was. And she just runs forward, and again, for some reason, nobody's firing bullets, which, by the way, I know some people are going to say, well, her suit's bulletproof, like she'll be fine. Yeah, her suit's bulletproof, but if you remember, there are a lot of places where she's completely exposed, like her jaw is completely exposed. You can even in this image right here, you can see her neck right there. A bullet could fly through her jugular, and she'd be dead. But no, for some reason, all of the villains in this show are absolute morons. Anyway, she beats the living crap out of them, which of course she does. And this fight scene was so horrible. It was so horrible. Like, I know I don't have a camera on me right now, but basically, if you have a camera, if you want to know how terrible it is, take your phone, turn on the camera, and go to the go to the video settings, hit record, and then what I want you to do is just start shaking the camera over and over and over and over again, and basically, and then watch the footage. I forgot to say, but hit record and then shake the camera and then rewatch the footage. That's basically how that scene was shot. It was nothing but terrible shaky cam, like one of those fucking Bourne movies. Just all the insane shaky cam. And it was all done just to mask how fucking shit that fight scene was. The fucking choreography was absolute shit. It was just, again, expect nothing less from Batman. Anyway, continuing, she fights the leader of the criminals, breaks his arm, and then opens the shipping container, which is of course filled with human trafficking. Now, something happens here that, of course, again, is another indication of why this show is written by monkeys who are mostly just holding their penises. One of the criminals manages to sneak up on Batwoman. Now, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, buddy, if you had the opportunity to sneak up behind her, why did you not take out your gun and then shoot her in the back of the head? If you were able to sneak up on her, why did you not take your gun and then shoot her in the back of the head? But of course, we can't have that. We can't have logic in the show. Whoopsie. So okay, moving forward. And do you remember when I said she fought the leader of the leader of this gang? Please keep that in mind for a second, because it does come back later, in a shitty way, unfortunately. Anyway, moving forward. So we're in Bruce Wayne's office that Kate Kane stole, which she does not own, which she somehow is still there, and no police have thrown her out for trespassing. But okay, why not? Why not? Sure, let's continue. Anyway, she's there. Mary is. Oh my God. Do you guys remember when in episode 16 I said that one of the things that I praised about that show is the fact that they pretty much made Mary and Luke out to be actual characters? If I didn't say that, I apologize, but that's one of the things that I liked about episode 16, is that Mary and Luke were at least acting like actual people. You know, they weren't acting as stereotypes. Well, you can kiss that goodbye, because Mary is pretty much back to being the stereotypical sorority valley girl. She's like, oh my God, last week I drinksies, we got drinks. Here you go, we got champagne. Let's start drinking and get drunk, yeah. Okay, that wasn't my actual joke. I actually I borrowed that from one of the YouTubers that I follow, which you guys should follow him. It's Heels versus Babyface. Go subscribe to him if you haven't. He does amazing Batwoman reviews. Anyway, yeah, it sucks. Mary's basically back to being a stereotypical Valley sorority girl, which sucks. So she's immediately unlikable, and she's pretty much the same for the rest of the episode. So yeah, sorry. If that one episode made you even a little bit invested in her character, yeah. So no, but basically the only reason she's there is to basically do that whole thing where this is a cliche that I don't know why they're still doing this, but basically it's when you have any show where you have a character that has like a secret life, and then someone that they're close to finds out about it, and somehow they just want to be involved, and and instead of just saying it, instead of just coming right out and saying it, they're just constantly going like, okay, I guess I'm about to go now. Here I am, just walking out the door, and it's so fucking annoying. I just it's a cliche that I wish that would honestly die. I know some people say that cliches are cliches for a reason, but this is one cliche that genuinely can go burn in hell. So she basically just wants to join the bat orgy. She wants to join the bat orgy, but Kate says no, and yada yada yada. Basically, look, this entire scene is useless, and it's just setting up the whole like Mary wants to be a part of the bat orgy. But okay, so moving on, we go to the asylum, and we've got of course Alice and Mouse, who still has his ass mask. By the way, that's Thrice Unlimited patent pending, or copyright Thrice Unlimited. That's his joke. Again, another YouTuber that you should go subscribe to. Uh, anyway, so we've got Mouse still pretending to be the doctor, and for some reason, nobody over at Arkham is questioning it because everyone at Arkham is a moron. Nobody's wondering why Mouse isn't around. Nobody's wondering why the Doctor isn't doing any of his usual experiments on Mouse. Remember when they said that one of the reasons why Mouse was afraid to go back to Arkham was because the Doctor kept performing all of these inhumane experiments on him, and yet, and the way they made it sound is that he was doing it on a regular basis, and yet for some reason, nobody at Arkham is questioning why this isn't happening anymore. But whatever, who cares? And nobody's wondering why Alice isn't in her cell because we keep seeing her throughout this episode. She's just outside of her cell, just doing whatever the hell she wants. Nobody's questioning it. So yeah, just more incompetent writing. Um, so this whole thing is basically so the whole point of this episode is everybody wants the journal that Lucius Fox had, where he kept all the secrets of all the technology that he developed for Bruce Wayne. Anyway, so continuing forward, uh, Tommy Elliot meets with basically Kay King goes to Arkham to talk to Tommy Elliot, and she basically asks him like, hey, where's the journal, where's the journal, and he is pretty much just more and more bad acting. This entire scene was filled with nothing but terrible acting from beginning to end, and it's not even worth mentioning. Basically, the entire point of the scene is, excuse me, Kate wants to know where the journal is. Tommy tells her to fuck off, and she just has a smug look on her face, so she just leaves. And also, before this, she asked Sophie and what was her name? Alfred's daughter, Julia Pennyworth. Anyway, they're working together to find the journal. They find Tommy Elliott's man cave, and basically, for some reason, there's a painting of him just naked, and they just laugh because, haha, men, penis bad, haha, yeah, we get it, show, we get it. You think penis bad, vagina good, okay. Go, keep drinking your clam juice, just go. And also, while they were there, they basically did something which, again, just tells you the thought process, just tells you the kind of people that are working on these shows, which is basically they find a comic book and they basically make fun of it. They basically make fun of it, and by proxy, making fun of comic book readers. You know, their primary audience, the people that they want to watch their shows, but no. They make a comic book property. They make a show based on a comic book character, and yet they don't want comic book readers to watch their show. They just want people who eat fur burgers. That's all they want. And you know what? I'm not going to tell you who that joke was from, but let me know in the comments if you know where that's from, or you know which YouTuber makes that joke all constantly. Boy. By the way, the clam juice is mine. That's mine. Although maybe someone. But anyway, clam juice. Whenever I make the clam juice joke, that's mine. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, we had that horrible scene. And then moving forward, Tommy Elliot meets up with Alice and Mouse, who's pretending to be the doctor. And then something happens in the scene that's just another indication of the terrible writing, which we'll get to. So while Tommy Elliot's in his cell, Alice is just there, just relaxing, which again makes you wonder why none of the guards are questioning why Alice isn't in her cell. But okay, sure, why not? Anyway, Alice and Mouse are there. Tommy Elliott's asking, "Why are you here?" And she says that I want this journal of Lucius Fox. Now it makes you wonder, how the hell did you find out about the journal? They make it seem like they overheard his conversation with Kate, which makes no sense because they were nowhere near the vicinity. But sure, they just know. And Alice wants to know why this journal is so important, and Tommy Elliot reveals that Lucius Fox, who was the leader of the R&D department in Wayne Tech, who basically ends up revealing that it basically contains the secrets of of every bit of technology that he ever made for Bruce Wayne, including the one with the means to take down the Bat, should the Bat ever go rogue. And then Alice asks, well, why would Wayne Tech's head of R&D, the head of Wayne Tech's R&D department, have such a thing? And he basically ends up revealing, well, because Bruce Wayne's Batman. So pretty much everyone knows that Bruce Wayne's Batman. So fuck secret identities, fuck all of that shit, because that's not important. That's just, just fuck all of that. They do this with every other CW show. They did it in Arrow, where they had one storyline where Oliver just pretty much outs himself as the Green Arrow. And in The Flash, oh my god, The Flash is probably the worst offender of this. They just have everyone finding out about Barry Allen being the Flash. Fuck secret identities. Whatever. Like I said, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna give you guys my thoughts on the show and why this is absolute shit. Like I said, I'm not even gonna bother getting mad anymore. I'm just gonna sit back and laugh at how terrible it is. Or if I'm not laughing, I'm just gonna get depressed. Anyway. Oh boy. So continuing now, Alice wants the journal. So she and Tommy make a deal. They make a deal that says, "Look, I will get you the book, or she wants, if you get me the book, I will give you a new face." Now, remember when I said another indication of why this, a bigger indication of why the writing in this show is absolute shit. Mouse is standing right there at the door, like he's not even inside the cell. He's standing right there, and he takes off the mask and reveals his face. Now, normally you would have guards constantly walking down the hallways to make sure that everything's okay, and yet none of the guards recognize Mouse being outside of the cell, or none of the guards notice that the doctor they thought was in charge of Arkham turns out was a fake. Nobody questions it, but sure, okay, whatever. Anyway, they make a deal, and they basically now try to make it as if, oh, he's become Hush. They take off his face, they put it on another victim, and they have that victim hang himself to make it look like Tommy Elliot killed himself in order to, so he can get out and have people think that he's dead. Which, by the way, makes absolutely no sense, because people in this facility should know that Mouse has the ability to impersonate people, that he has the ability to wear other people's faces, and yet nobody questions this in the least, because of course they do. You know what? I cannot wait to see how badly the second season bombs. I'm not gonna watch it, but it's gonna bomb, because this show is already bleeding viewers. This show isn't even averaging in 1 million viewers, which is usually how many viewers this show usually has each episode. The viewership has gone down 1 million. So congratulations. I'm willing to, and it's still going down. It's still going down. People are losing interest in this show. The only people watching it are people, idiots like me, who have decided to review every episode of the first season. But even idiots like me who have chosen to review every episode of the first season have pretty much decided that we are done by the time the first season is over. Like, we're not even going to give the second season a shot anymore. So, moving forward, so they find out that Tommy Elliott hid the journal with a mobster, with a gang leader, another mob boss, and Kate finds out about this through more bullshit means, and Tommy is telling this guy. No, actually, we'll get to him. So they find out about this, and they go over to the gang leaders club so they can sneak in and steal the book. And while they sneak in, Kate meets up with Reagan. Now, if you remember, Reagan was her girlfriend, the one that she dated for like a week and then broke up in the next episode because the writers are so shit. They expected us to feel sad that Kate just lost her girlfriend, even though we just met her, and not given even an ounce of time to actually get to know her. Which, by the way, keep this in mind. Keep it in mind, the girlfriend thing. Anyway, so while they're there, now you would think that while you're on a mission that you would have your mind focused on the mission, and no, Kate instead takes this opportunity to she takes this opportunity to do this. She takes this opportunity to try and drink more of Reagan's clam juice. Because that's all she cares about. That's all the people writing this show care about, which is as long as there are two girls on screen, they have to fuck. Because of course, that's how lesbians work. Because that's how lesbians have their relationships in real life, right? As long as they meet another lesbian, that automatically means they're together. Because of course. Anyway, moving forward. Julia shuts off the power, and somehow, in like 2 seconds, Kate was able to change from what she was wearing into her bat suit. And this scene, the way it was done, was absolutely atrocious. So the entire floor has basically had their lights out, and we're expected to believe that somehow Kate can maneuver through all these people, like silently, like nobody's noticing, and the extras in the scene have to pretend that they can't notice her, even though she's right there. Oh God, this show actually got a second season. This show actually got a second season. Of course, you know what? Keep it. I don't care. Keep it. If you guys like this show, keep it. I'm not gonna watch it anymore. Just enjoy. I hope you have fun. Anyway, she finds the book, but there was a trap. She gets knocked out, which leads to probably my favorite shot in the entire show. And this will always be my favorite shot, unless there's a scene where she gets a bullet to the head. Then that becomes my new favorite shot in the first season. If it happens in the second season, it doesn't count because I'm not gonna watch it. But so far, this is my favorite scene in the entire show, or my favorite shot, which is her just looking like an absolute retard. So she gets caught and she's put up for auction. Now she gets caught. Luke wants to go in and save her, but Mary's telling her, no, send me in. I want to be relevant. Wah. Me. It's all about me. Anyway, Luke, because he went back to being a soy boy, decides to let his future cum dump go in. Anyway, she goes in with money because she pretends to be someone who's interested in Batwoman, but she reveals that, oh no, she's only interested in the suit for her company. Like, they only want the technology. And he says, fine, you can have the suit, but only after I pull it off her corpse. And they do this whole thing where somehow Luke explodes the money, and somehow that gives them enough time to get Kate out of the chains right there, and she just starts kicking everybody's ass in another fight scene that looks like absolute shit. And while all this is happening, we cut to Julia, who was caught after she turned off the power. And they keep asking her, torturing her for information, asking her, who do you work for? And she says, I work for British intelligence. But then, dun, 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 it's revealed that Julia Pennyworth is not actually working for the British intelligence. Turns out she actually left weeks ago because she went rogue. So, uh-oh. Now, I have something I want to say about that for just a second. Just hold on. I'll get to that in a sec. Anyway, continuing forward, Kate beats up everyone. She goes to the roof, and there she confronts Magpie. Now, how did she confront Magpie? Well, because cut back to a couple of minutes ago in the episode, we have a scene where they are inside the office, and Tommy contacts the mob boss. And this has happened right after Kate's been captured, and he says, I want the book. And he tells him that if this book is important enough for a member of the Bat Orgy to show up and try to take it, then its value must be insane, which of course it is. And he says, yeah, I'm basically going to act like a stereotypical one-dimensional villain and turn on you and blah blah blah. He wants to sell the book and yada yada yada. Whatever, who cares? So Alice says that she had a contingency plan and she hired Magpie to steal the book. Ah, boy. So, yeah, now cut back to where we were. We're on the roof, and Kate is fighting Magpie in another fight scene that looks like shit. Magpie throws the book over the ledge, and a couple of seconds later, which by then the book would have hit terminal velocity, but of course none of the writers on the show know what that even means, even though this is something you learn in like 6th grade physics. But no, who cares? So she jumps after it, somehow manages to catch it in time, and then literally a second later she fires a grappling gun, and she manages to make it back. Which again, it's just it's shit. Then again, what can you expect? This show got a second season. Let me remind you. And moving forward, what happens next? Oh my God. So yeah, she's happy she got the book. Now, you would think that a book this important, she would prioritize this over everything, right? She should take it to the Batcave where Luke can keep it in storage behind behind a shit ton of security to make sure that nobody, and I mean nobody, is able to steal it ever again. But no, instead we get to this scene. She meets Reagan again, and then instead of going like I said, instead of securing the book, she decides to head over to her apartment where they start drinking each other's clam juice. Because of course they did. Because that's all this show cares about. That is all this show cares about. We do not care about consistency. We do not care about good writing. We do not care about logic. We do not care about keeping our audience entertained. We only care about getting lesbianisms on screen because, of course. Anyway, but then something afterwards, something really hilarious happens afterwards. So the morning after, Kate wakes up to see that Reagan is missing. And not only that, she finds out that the book is missing. Remember when I said to keep in mind, Reagan's in this episode? So we find out that Reagan was the one who stole the book, and she gave it to Magpie, who, if you remember, is working for Alice. Now, you would think that, Reagan must be evil. Turns out no. Turns out she only did this because she didn't want her sister to get in trouble. Which, of course, means two things. Either A, she's going to be killed, or B, by the end, she's going to find out what happened, and she's going to forgive her, and they're probably going to go back to drinking each other's clan juices. Because, of course. Because that's all the show cares about. Oh, boy. Anyway, moving forward, the book goes over to Alice and Mouse. But then we find out one thing. We find out that Tommy never told them that the book was written in code, so now they have to decipher it. Now we're assuming that they are by then they already gave Tommy Elliott his new face and he's already fucked off. Now, if you know the Hush storyline, oh yeah, which good. It's good that you know it because it's not gonna happen here. It's not gonna happen here because they don't care. They don't care about properly adapting one of people's favorite, a bunch of people's favorite Batman stories ever. None of that matters because they don't care. Because the people working on the show only care about this. That's all they care about. Let's draw a heart here. Why not? Let's draw a heart. And then just a sword right through it because why not? Anyway, so we cut to a scene where Luke shows Mary the Batcave. And of course, she's excited, which is, I guess you could say, okay, it's kind of understandable. But then thing, the first thing she does is try to take a selfie in the Batcave. And Luke has to run over and stop her. But then she has this look on her face like, oh my God, I don't understand. What did I do wrong? This show got a second season, people. This show got a second season where the one time, for one episode, we had Mary acting like an actual person. But then she reverts back to being the stereotypical sorority valley girl. And it was just... It was... You know what? Like I said, I don't care. I don't care anymore. Keep it. Enjoy. Enjoy your shit. So, yeah. And last thing we end up finding out is Julia gets a call. And in this call, she says, no, I don't have the book yet, but I will get it eventually. Now, remember when we found out that Julia is apparently not working for... is now working for British intelligence anymore, that, this means that she's lying, she's obviously a secret villain. No. I do not think she's a secret villain. Here's my prediction. It's gonna turn out that Julia has been working for Batman, and I mean the real Batman the entire time. She was working for Alfred. Or no, because she's Alfred's daughter, that means she has a connection to Bruce. And I am willing to bet that Bruce is the one who sent her to Gotham to get the book when he found out that Lucius Fox died. When he found out that Lucius Fox died, he obviously knew about the book because he's Batman, because of course he would. And he sent Julia over to Gotham in order to retrieve the book to make sure it doesn't, fall into a criminal's hands, which is exactly what happened. Which wouldn't have happened if Kate decided to not be a moron for one episode. So that's it. That's the episode. Again, like I said, typical shitty writing, typical illogical plot, which, again, is par for the course at this point. So you know what? Like I said, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to review every episode until the season is over, and then I'm done. And then I will be officially done. I will be free of Batwoman forever. If this second season ever does get made, enjoy it. If you're watching this and you enjoy the show, enjoy it. I genuinely mean that. I am happy you have this shit to entertain you. But I don't. All of that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you like my content and if you want to support my content, remember to click on that like button, share this video, and more importantly than that, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and click on the bell icon to let you know whenever my next video on Batman comes out. And remember to leave a comment letting me know your thoughts. As always, all of that is really going to help push this channel forward. Now, I am going to end it right here. You guys have been awesome as always. Have a safe day. And remember to join me for my next review. Bye.